just days after the Integrity Commission dropped its bombshell report. The political fallout exploded right on the floor of Parliament. What was supposed to be a simple update on the dengue outbreak became a full-blown $80 million political war. The clash was led by Opposition Spokesman Dr. Alfred Dawes, and his target was Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton. Dawes didn't mince words. He charged the minister with outright systemic failure, and then Tufton rose to reply with a furious dismissal. He called the whole thing a desperate political stunt. Political theater, he said. We are breaking down the three major attacks the opposition used, the staggering counterattack from Tufton, and what this explosive debate means for the future of Jamaica's healthcare. Dawes didn't come to Parliament to discuss the weather. He was there to demand accountability for the IC Report's findings on procurement irregularities and conflict of interest allegations. For our viewers who watched our previous deep dive, you know this is about the breaches tied directly to the minister's office. The opposition is using the IC's findings as absolute proof, arguing that Tufton is on a media tour, quote, deflecting from what is pertinent, his management of the Ministry of Health and Wellness. This isn't just about money. This is about using the IC's own words as iron-clad evidence of systemic flaws inside the ministry. But the criticism went deeper than just the contracts. Dawes widened the attack to argue that the scandal is overshadowing the wider crisis in the health sector. He brought up issues that should be familiar to many of you. The long-delayed multi-billion-dollar rehabilitation project at Cornwall Regional Hospital. Then came the most staggering claim, the mental health crisis. He brought up the appalling conditions at Bellevue Hospital. Dawes made a shocking claim that the rebranding has done nothing for the patients, who are allegedly not growing their own food as therapy, but for sustenance, because the food budget has been cut. That is an explosive, unverified claim, and the opposition stood by it. Finally, Dawes demanded clarity on what he called direct ministerial interference in the composition of the board at the University Hospital of the West Indies. The message, the IC report, is just the tip of the iceberg. When Minister Tufton rose to reply, his strategy was clear: dismissal. With what the Jamaica Observer described as a faint smile, he appeared entirely unbothered by the barrage of criticism. He acknowledged the criticism, then immediately reframed it. The minister's response, prompting laughter from the government benches, was to call the opposition's entire critique a desperate political stunt. His quote, "I would like to say that the member seems to be practicing for the next general election. This election is done, the people have spoken, and we are on this side." In essence, this isn't about the IC report. This is just political theater. The political battle lines are drawn. On one side, the opposition uses the Integrity Commission's findings as ironclad evidence of systemic failure. On the other, the government dismisses it all as mere electioneering and political gamesmanship. Which side of this explosive political debate do you fall on? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this analysis clear and helpful, you need to stay on top of this story. We will continue to track the IC report and all the political fallout. Hit the subscribe button and that notification bell right now. It's the only way to make sure you get the next report.
With a spate, well, if we are in tune to social media, member, we would know that there are questions hovering around about an Integrity Commission report. There are questions as to how we are really dealing with mental health in Jamaica and the renaming and rebranding of a hospital that has leaking wards, overcrowded patients, and no capital budget for about 5 years coming from the Ministry of Health. With previous announcements about destigmatization going back as far as from 2019 by the Honorable Minister. where residents are not growing their food at the Bellevue Hospital because of therapy, but because of sustenance, because the food budget has been cut. My response is governed by Standing Order 11A, Section 2. I can speak not just about the speech. No, you are speaking about the response. Subsection 917. Okay. What has happened over the last week is that the Honorable Minister has been on a media tour deflecting from what is pertinent, his management of the Ministry of Health and Wellness. And we are seeing where announcements are made that the delay at the Cornwall Regional Hospital will not be as great as it was predicted to be. We are seeing about where the Children's Hospital is going to be delayed. We are seeing discussions finally about forensic psychiatry being addressed. And we are hearing about the mental health challenges that ought to be seriously dealt with by the Ministry of Health, but responsibility is being pushed back at